Okay, now we'll see the next mnemonics, that is study skills. Now we work it out day and night to learn our lessons, and we fail to learn them, and we really work it out so hard. We work hours together every day learning the answers. So many children don't understand that study skills are all about smart learning, not hard learning. They work hard. That's why they can't get the concepts that easily. But you must not really work hard if you really want to study. You got to work smart. That's the secret. Okay. So usually people tend to by heart their answers. That is the problem with maximum children. That because they had been not taught any other techniques apart from by hearting since the childhood. So they resort to by hearting, especially the answers. Now in my seminars, many children ask me, so how to remember question and answers? Well, it's a bit a funny question what they ask me. In the first case, why you must remember a question? You have to only remember the answer, right? So they ask me how to remember question and answers. See, the secret lies in not remembering the question and answers, but learning the lessons properly. Don't ever learn question and answer, because usually when you take a question and answer, and when you try to by heart the answer, now assume it's a one para answer. If you by heart mug it up and then learn the answer, to by heart one paragraph you may probably take 20 minutes to half an hour, right? And sometimes you have some essay type answers, like where each answer would be approximately 2 to 3 pages. Now to by heart one paragraph answer, if you take 20 minutes to half an hour time, tell me how much time will it take to by heart a 2 to 3 pages answer? So maybe a day. So you're wasting your precious time in like by hearting the things. We should never ever by heart. That's a thing like. So usually all our mnemonics what you have seen from first till now, did we ever by heart at any point? We never by hearted anything. Okay, but there should be some procedure how to learn these things. Okay, so now we're gonna start the study skills. In our study skills, I'm gonna give you some some secrets of techniques wherein you can learn your lessons. Mind you, learn lesson to lesson. If you can learn the lessons properly, you can answer any question given from that lesson very easily. Is it not? So let's get started with the study skills. Now in our study skills, we'll first see the very first technique, and that is called the request V formula. Request V formula. You can just see out here, request V. Okay. Now what is that request V? Now I told you in our mnemonics, vowels are invalid, right? Of course there are certain invalid consonants also. Here in this request, we omit the vowels. So what else you get apart from that? Okay. You get R, Q, S, T and V, right? So we can only work on these 4 letters. Okay. Now what is R, Q, S, T, V? Okay. That is request V. Okay. So from this request V, we are omitting the vowels and only taking the remaining letters. Okay. Now it's actually request V. It's actually abbreviation. Okay. And every letter has an expansion. Okay. Let me first tell you what is R. Okay. R is read. I told you in the topic of brain. You can just go back and see. In the topic of brain, I have actually told you that read means understand. Right. So R is read. Q is question. Okay. Then S is summarize. Now what do you mean by summarize? Summarizing. Summarizing means condensing a concept into a short thing. Okay. That's the meaning of the word summarize. Okay. T is test. And finally, the most important of everything to remember, that is V, visualize. That's the most important thing, right? Whatever you want to remember, you got to visualize that information, right? So that is the meaning of request V. Now we're gonna take one particular like a text. Okay. Now it's a small lesson like thing. Okay. We're gonna take a small lesson. Okay. Now I'll show you. We'll first see that lesson. Okay. And later to that small particular text, whatever is it's actually given, we'll apply this request V formula, and then let's try to learn how to learn that particular concept without by hearting it. Okay. Now let's see the text on the screen right now. Okay. It says, what are the functions of Gram Panchayat, or the heading is about the functions of Gram Panchayat. Okay, okay, it's there'll be a small text about. Okay, now the text about it is this. See, there's a text about it. Okay, functions of Gram Panchayat, and there's a small paragraph pertaining to that. Okay, now let's apply this request V formula and then try to learn this particular text without by hearting it, mind you. Okay, now the first letter is R. R is read. Okay, now what is read is, now what you do is start reading the answer with understanding. This particular paragraph, it's actually not answer, it is the paragraph what you have taken. Okay, if you actually take it as a question and answer, then the question will be, what are the functions of Gram Panchayat? If you actually take it as a text, it's like functions of Gram Panchayat, and then we have certain text pertaining to that. Okay, now the text reads something like this. Okay, you can just go through that. Okay, read means read in medium pace with understanding. Don't just read for the sake of reading and then fastly and you don't understand anything like that. Nothing like that. So you have to first read in medium pace. It says, the Gram Panchayat supplies pure drinking water in the village. Next slide says, it constructs the government buildings in the village. It runs, it maintains the roads and streets of the village. Okay, it says it runs primary schools for the children of the village. It also runs health centers and dispensaries for the villagers. And finally it says it settles the disputes of the villagers amicably. Now, after you finish reading all this with medium pace, okay, immediately ask your mind, what did I understand from this reading? The mind will not give the complete answer. The complete answer will actually not go into the mind. You will just get the outline. It will say it is some Gram Panchayat and doing some kind of social service in the village, right? Some kind of a service for the people of the village, right? It only gives the outline. It will not give the complete, text about this Gram Panchayat. Okay, we just got the outline of the text. Okay, now very good, fine. Now, from this, the next one after question, it's S. S is summarize. Now, the meaning of the word summarize is making it short. Okay, now when you are trying to summarize this particular text, you must collect something called the set of key phrases. What do you mean by the word key? Key means important. The literal meaning of the word key is important. Okay, key is also like what you use to open the lock. That is one thing. Another meaning of the word key is like important. Phrase, a short liner. Okay, a small liner, it's called a phrase. Okay, key phrase. So what you must do, read till the first full stop. Okay, and from that get the key phrase. Okay, let's see the technique how to collect the key phrases. Okay, now read the first up to the first full stop. It says, the Gram Panchayat supplies pure drinking water in the village. Now, the most important thing after you read till the first full stop is visualize. That's very important. When you by heart the answers, you generally don't tend to visualize the answers. You are just learning it by rote. We call it batti method, right? Ratta marna, batti marna, use so many other words. Okay, when you battify the answer, you're not really seeing the visuals of the answer. You only concern more about putting that answer into the mind. But here you have to visualize whatever you read till the first full stop. Now close your eyes, reach alpha state. Okay, now visualize. The Gram Panchayat supplies pure drinking water in the village. So God has given that software within you. That is the ability to imagine, synthesize. See, you are using your right brain. Now I told you, if you want to store the things better in the mind, you got to add fun. Okay, the funnier the link, easier the recollection. So you can just imagine now usually Gram Panchayat is in the villages, not in the cities. In the cities we call it municipality. In the villages we call Gram Panchayat. That's the only difference. Functions are almost the same. Okay. Now imagine in the village, okay, a tractor or a lorry tanker carrying water came into the village, right? Visualize this, this particular line what we read just now, okay? And you can see all the villagers running with the pots and the ghadas in their hand. They are running, behind that lorry, okay? And you can see this Gram Panchayat people, they started trying to release the water out of the tanker, and you can see the people flocking around the tank to fetch the water. And I told to add some fun and humor. Like you can see some people breaking the pots in that process of fetching the water, and you can see some ladies holding their hair and fighting with each other. So this it's a bit funny, like, okay. So I told you, when you create fun in the mind, serotonin will secrete, and that is the cause of your memory, right? So now see all these pictures, okay? Like people are basically standing in a queue or fetching the water or fighting for the water and all this, okay? You have probably seen many times, okay? Especially during summertime, especially when you go to slum areas where people fight for the water, right? The same scene must go on in your brain. See, every bit of information in the mind, you can use it to remember something new. Now, that's it. So after you see all these visuals, all this will happen in seconds. It will not take some minutes of time. All these visuals will flash in seconds of time in your mind, okay? After you see all these visuals, now ask your mind, what is that small one-liner by which I can remember all this, up to the first full stop? So we can condense it as supply drinking water. See, that is a phrase I just took from this line, okay? Now, next one. It constructs the government buildings in the village. Okay, now again close your eyes, and try to again visualize. You're walking inside the village. Inside the village, you're able to see certain government buildings, and they are library building, primary school building, veterinary hospital building, the Anganwadi, Gram Panchayat office building. Okay, so all this, government buildings in the village are being constructed by the Gram Panchayat. So if you had actually been to some village, you have seen what are the government offices, okay? After you see all these visuals, ask your mind, how can I condense it into a small phrase, okay? Then you get something like constructs government buildings. That's all. Okay? Next, it says it maintains the roads and streets of the village. Now come on, visualize. Imagine that there's a tractor which actually came into the village, okay? And you see some, some people, they jumped out of the tractor wearing that khaki dress, and some ladies also jumped out of the, like tractor, carrying the brooms in their hand, with certain small baskets in their hand. They are sweeping the roads, they are cleaning all the garbage on the road, they are dumping all the garbage into the tractor, and they are cleaning the drainage system, they are keeping the village neat and tidy. Visualize all this in your mind, okay? So after you see all these visuals, ask your mind, how can I condense it into a small short phrase, okay? Then you get something like just maintains roads. That's it, just maintains roads. Okay, now the next point, it says it runs primary schools for the children of the village. Now the next visual what you must get is, imagine inside the village there is a school. Usually in the villages, the schools, how they are, okay? The children, they're not properly dressed, with some slightly torn dress, or they wear khaki dress, Generally in the, government schools, the uniform is khaki uniform, okay? And then you see all these children, they are without chapel, okay? They are all these small children running into the school, and then, inside the school there are no benches, okay? Something like that. And you can see that there is a master in the school, the master with bald head and a cue, what you call pilaka, okay? And then the master is holding a stick in the hand, the master shouting at the kids, and all the children making a lot of noise. So all these visuals, you can just see all these visuals in your mind, okay? After you see all these visuals, ask your mind, how can I condense it into a short phrase, okay? Then you get something like just runs P schools. Runs P schools, that's all. Just write in short. Runs P schools. Okay? Now next. It also runs health centers and dispensaries for the villagers. Now, imagine in the village, okay, you are able to see a very big line. So what is this line? In that line you can see there is one guy who is actually shivering with cold. It's almost like, suffering from malaria. Okay? And one more guy is literally coughing so loud. Okay? And you see there's one lady in the line, she has almost fainted in the line. There's one more lady holding a small baby in the hand, and the baby is crying loud. and this line is going into a hospital. Inside the hospital, you can see the doctor checking up the patient, the nurse giving the injection, and the compounder giving the medicines. So after you see all these visuals, ask your mind, how can I condense it into a short phrase? And it says, runs hospitals. It's not hospital actually, it's health center and then dispensary, but it's called a creative keyword. Instead of saying health center and then you say the clinic and you say some other word. It's better you use only one word called hospital, okay, to understand all that, okay. Just write runs hospitals, a short phrase. So finally, it says, it settles the disputes of the villagers amicably. The meaning of the word amicably is mutually. Inside the village, they settle the issues within the village. They'll not go to the police and the courts. Usually, maximum problems in the village will be solved by Gram Panchayat only. Now, what is the visuals you have to get in your mind? If you had seen some Hindi movies, some Telugu movies or some local language movies, that's the first thing what you actually get in the mind when I say Panchayat. 5 people sitting under a big tree, okay, and one man, probably the president or the sarpanch of the village, is actually dressed in all silk clothes with dhoti and kurta, with what do you call a silk khandwa on him, okay, and is wearing all gold rings and all gold bracelets, and 2 bodyguards, standing behind him, and this guy showing his finger like this and then giving the judgment, and all the villagers sitting on the floor and accepting his judgment, right? So all these scenes must flash in your mind, and after you see all these visuals, ask your mind, what is that one short phrase by which I can remember all this? And it says, settles disputes, right? Now, we actually condense such a big text into 6 short phrases. See now? Now see the text now, see the phrases now. Such a big text has been condensed into 6 short phrases. Okay? Now, we don't need the main answer now. We'll just erase off the main answer. We'll only take the 6 short phrases now. Okay? Now, after you do this particular second thing, summarizing the text, your mind understands the concept by at least 30 to 35%. Not 100% mind you, not yet 100%. It only understands the concept by 30 to 35%. Okay? Now, how to make it 50%? Okay? Very simple. Based on these key phrases, ask questions to your mind. Now, what are the questions you can ask your mind? Now, these are the questions. These are called the WH questions. Take a look at this. What, why, who, where, when. These are called the WH questions. Now, these are called the recalling questions. Okay. These are the only questions what you can ask your mind. Now, all your questions after your lessons are based on these questions only. What is this? Where is this? When is this? Why is this? All based on these only. Right? So now, based on the key phrase, ask the appropriate question. Now, the first key phrase is supply drinking water. Can I ask where supply drinking water? Can I ask when supply drinking water? So you can ask the appropriate question, who supplies drinking water, right? Now, it's again interaction between the left and the right brains. Now your left brain will ask the right brain, who supplies drinking water? And then the right brain will speak in pictures. I told you, the right brain will understand all in the language of pictures. Left brain understands like language, but the right brain will understand like pictures. So when the left brain asks the right brain, what is that, like who supplies drinking water? The right brain, see, did you actually recall all the pictures? A lorry tanker coming into the village, all the villagers running with the pots and the ghadas, right? And the ladies fighting, you all remember that? Yes, okay, that's it, see? See, the same visuals are again flashing in your mind, right? See? Right, okay, next one, okay? It constructs gone buildings, okay? So constructs gone buildings. So who constructs? See, the same visuals are again going on in your mind. The Gram Panchayat office building, primary school building, veterinary hospital building, library building, all these visuals are coming, Anganwadi, all these are going on in your mind. See, the same visuals what you fed in your mind, they'll flash back again. See, right, next one, maintaining roads. Now see, the same visuals, the lorry, I mean the tractor came in, and some people jumped out with the brooms and that baskets, sweeping the roads, garbage, the drainage system. Did you get all that? See, the same visuals will again flash back. Okay. So next, primary school. See. So did you recall that pictures again? That small children with all khaki dress, without chapel, and that master with the bald head and the cue and the stick in the hand, shouting at the children. Did you actually get back all the pictures? See, that's it. So, Gram Panchayat and then, primary schools. Got this point? Now next, hospital. See, got it? The same visuals, that line, shivering with malaria, fainting in the line, the small child crying, injection, medicines. Got it? See, the same visuals again flash in your mind. Finally, disputes. Did you get that scene? That movie scene? Silk dress guy with all rings, bracelets, to bodyguards, showing it like that, all the villagers sitting there. Yes, the same visuals again flashback. See, that means you are able to understand, because now you have shown the visuals, the brain understands the concept much better. Okay, now you got this concept by this 50%. Okay, now that's it. Based on these key phrases, finally you must collect something called the set of keywords. Now when you actually collect the keywords, you will understand the answer at least by 80%. Now, what is this keywords is? Now, instead of just one complete phrase, now for the first one, supply drinking water, okay? Now, what is that one word by which you can recall all this line? So, it should be probably water, right? So, instead of all this phrase, take the keyword. The next thing is keyword. After key phrase, we take something called keywords, okay? Now, the keyword is only water for the first thing. Nothing but only water. Okay. The second one, just buildings. Not right, construct government is not required. Only just write buildings, that's all. Okay. And the third one is only roads. Just write roads, that's all. Okay. The fourth one is only schools. Just write schools. Okay. The fifth one is just write hospitals. Just hospitals, that's all. Finally, from the sixth one, disputes. That's it. Now we don't need the key phrase, key phrase also. Take care of the key phrases now. Now we'll work only on the key words now. Okay. Now, so I told you after you actually accomplish writing the key words, you will understand the answer by at least 80%. Okay, the complete text by 80%. Now, based on the keyword, try to recall the complete phrase based on the appropriate question. Again, you must ask the question to your mind. Okay. Now, can you recall what is the complete line linked to water? What is the link between? See, ask the question. What is the link between water and Gram Panchayat? Did you recall? The Gram Panchayat supplies pure drinking water in the village, right? Now then the second one, okay? Buildings. What's the thing you recalled? The Gram Panchayat constructs the government buildings in the village, right? See? Just that one word. The same visuals again coming back into your mind, right? Then the third one, okay? Roads. So the Gram Panchayat maintains the roads and streets of the village, right? Did you get that point? Again, the same visuals are flashing back in your mind. Okay, the fourth one, schools. See, the Gram Panchayat runs primary schools for the children of the village, right? See, same thing flashback into our mind. See, just a school, okay? And the same scenes again, the same visuals pertaining to that particular school, the flashing back in your mind. Okay, the fifth one, hospital. See, the same scenes again. The Gram Panchayat also runs health center. See, the true memory tells you that it's not hospital, it's a health center and a dispensary. Okay, so that's the thing. The same visuals are flashing back. The line, the injection, the medicines, the checkup. See, finally, disputes. The Gram Panchayat settles the disputes of the villagers amicably, mutually. They'll not go to the courts and the police. They'll try to settle the matter within the village only, right? So that's it. See, so the complete text without by hearting, you're able to understand it and also remember it much better. Okay. Now we finished off summarizing. By the time you actually summarize this answer, you understood it by 80%, 80 to 90% rather. Rather, you got the answer by this time. Okay. Now, the next point in our request we formula is T. After S, summarize. No? We finished summarizing. No. Now T, test. Now, what do you mean by test? No, nothing. Based on these keywords, now you must write the text in your own words. Now, that's where many children get confused. Now they think that if they write the answers for the lesson in their own words, the teacher wouldn't give them the marks. The reason is they say, you know sir, my teacher said the first answer is in the textbook she marked from here to here. They say that, okay, but this is the answer. Let me actually tell you children, the teacher did not say that the first answer is from here to here. She didn't say that, but if you all this line. She said the first answer lies within these paragraphs. She said just understand and try to recall it in your own words in the examination. She didn't say that you must by heart all these lines word to word. She didn't say that. But you interpret that she said the first answer from here to here, so you by heart like this. Second answer, this page here, that page there. And you think the teacher marked the answer like this in the textbook, you by heart word to word. No, that's wrong. You should never by heart like that. The teacher meant to say that the question, the answer for this particular question lies in this paragraphs. Understand this paragraph and write the answer, she said. She never said that you must buttify this particular paragraph and write it. No, she didn't say that. But we think that, and then we by heart word to word. Or some children, they refer to workbooks. And then workbooks, they have the question and the answer, they by heart the question and the answer also. So that's where many children are doing the mistake. Now here, if you actually by heart, the problem is you can never develop your knowledge. Okay, before I actually tell you how to do the test, okay, let me tell you the problems with by hearting. When you by heart a given answer, what will be the problem? Problem number one, this answer would be in your brain only for a few days, just a few days. And after a few days, it will fade away. If you don't believe me, just recall. I think if you're in 7th class, recall 6th class. If you're in 10th class, recall 8th class. How many answers you can remember from your previous classes? Not even one, or maybe one or two. Or so many answers, you have to remember one or two because you by hearted all that. Okay? So the first problem is, these answers will be in the brain only for a few days. The second problem is, the answer will be in your brain, but you don't know the meaning of that. That's the problem when you by heart. Okay? Problem number 3, when you by heart. You have by hearted the answer. In the examination, you have seen that the same questions have appeared in the question paper. You are very happy and you started writing the answer. You wrote the first line, you wrote the second line, you wrote the third line, you went for the fourth line, in between, you got stuck. That one word got stuck. Now tell me what will happen. You miss the rhythm, and for that reason, not only that answer, even the other answers are blocked. Is it not? And you're wasting that precious time in the examination to recall that one word. You again start from the first, and then you try to again recall in rhythm, and you waste a lot of your time. And some of them in that examination pressure, they can't recall it all that words again. So they're wasting the time in the examinations. So this is the problem when you by heart. And the people who by heart are bound to become good slaves. They'll never become leaders. Let me tell you why. Because you're following somebody's knowledge. You're not creative. You're not using your own brain power. Somebody created a knowledge and you're following that blindly, not using your brain, not understanding what is that. So ultimately the people who by heart the answers are born to be like ordinary people only. They'll never develop good linguistic skills. They'll never develop good presentation skills. And maximum people do that, by heart, imposition, writing 20 times, 30 times. It will never help you. So for that reason, we have come to text now, okay, test now, okay. Now test means what you must do is, based on the key phrases, write the lesson again back in your own words. And when you're doing that, you got to use a technique called spicing. Spicing. What do you mean by spice? Spice. Yes, spice means very simply add masala. That's it. Masala, adding masala. Now what is this adding masala? Or maybe you're wondering, okay, I have to write the answer and ask my mom for some dal, chini and chili powder and salt. Not all that masala, okay. Now let me tell you how we human beings express ourselves. We human beings express ourselves in two ways. One is by the way we dress. Okay, we can express ourselves with our dress. Looking at somebody's dress, we can make out that whether this person is civilized or uncivilized or semi-civilized. Okay, we can know that with the dress. And the second way how we express ourselves is by the way we speak. The two ways how we express ourselves. Okay, so here in the examinations, in your examination, you can't show your dress to your teacher, right? You can't put your photograph, say I look so this, I look so that, I'm so handsome, I'm so beautiful. You can't show all that. Okay, you have to express yourself by the way you speak, or if you actually can't speak to your teacher, you got to write it, right? So that's it. Even writing is one kind of expression. So see, when you dress up yourself, you add different accessories, right? Now usually everybody wears pant and shirt, right? And when you put belt over that, it adds more power, okay? And then when you put on your watch, that gives more power. When you put on your jewelry, like your rings and bracelet, that gives more power, okay? And over and above that, if you put on something, again some extra chain over you, that gives more attraction. And then you put on your jacket or blazer, that gives more attraction. See, and some people, they put the earrings, even the guys, they do that, okay? They put a small earring, okay? Why are you adding all that to yourself? So that you can express yourself in the right way. Whereas the person who is actually looking at you will come to a conclusion that this guy is really hi-fi, okay? To express all that, we are putting all the accessories on us, okay? So that is one way how we express ourselves in the terms of dress. The same way you must add accessories to your presentation. That's where we use it, in the test we use the spicing technique. Now, what is the spicing? I'll let you know. Now, for the first thing, water in the book, just now that's actually the book thing. In the book what I read just now, I've just, I've written that, okay? Now, in the book they give, the Gram Panchayat supplies pure drinking water in the village, right? Now, how do you spice it up, okay? Now you got to express yourself in a better fashion, okay? Write like this. The Gram Panchayat supplies pure, filtered and chlorinated drinking water to the villages. So you added one more spice like chlorinated. See the word. Okay. So this will impress your teacher or the examiner who is trying to correct your paper. Well, he says, why? This guy is, excellent. Like, he has written a beautiful answer. He has written an appropriate, he has used appropriate language to express himself. So that is the accessories what you can add to your language. Okay. And in this process, you also develop good linguistic skills also. These are very important. So if you just by heart, you can never develop your linguistic skills. But if you start expressing right from now, after a few years down the line, you develop good linguistic skills. Okay. So right on from now, you must try doing that. Okay. Creating the things on your own, expressing yourselves. Okay, in the best possible way. Okay. So now, don't write nonsense like some guys. Instead of writing all this, they write like this: the Gram Panchayat supplies mineral water, distillery water, Kinley water for the villagers. Now don't do that. The Gram Panchayat will never supply mineral water, distillery and Kinley water for the villagers. They supply pure water which should be chlorinated. So write something which makes sense. Don't write nonsense, right? So see, the spicing there, you add some masala to your, okay, your answer, okay. Now, second point, that is buildings. So Gram Panchayat constructs the government buildings in the village. Write the same point and add buildings like, what are the buildings? The Anganwadi, the Gram Panchayat office building, primary school building, veterinary hospital building, library building, etc. This is a very clever thing, writing etc. at the end, as if you know more. Mention as many you know and write etc. as if there are many other things also. Okay, that's a clever way of doing it. See. Now, in the third point, it says roads. Gram Panchayat maintains the roads and streets of the village. Okay, write the same point and add masala, saying this, wherein they maintain special staff to sweep the roads, to clean the garbage, to maintain the drainage system, and to maintain hygiene in the village. See, all this is not given in the book. And you're writing something which is making sense. You're not writing nonsense. They are, see, all these guys who are cleaning the roads are there to maintain hygiene in the village, right? So you're writing something which is making sense. So you can write that point. See, you're adding spice there. Okay. Next point is schools. In the book they give, the Gram Panchayat runs primary schools for the children of the village. Write the same point and add masala, wherein they provide free education. In the government schools, it's free education, right? When they provide free education, free uniform, free books, free midday meals, and scholarships for the backward classes. how does this sound like? See, you're trying to impress your examiner or the teacher who is trying to correct your question paper, okay? Your answer sheet, what I mean to say. Right? Now, next point, they gave hospitals, right? The Gram Panchayat runs health centers and dispensaries for the village, okay? Now, what is the masala you can add here? Write the same point and write wherein they provide free medical checkup, okay? Free medicines and free vaccinations for the children. Is it not? In the government hospitals, they provide free checkup, they provide free medicines and free vaccinations for the children. Or you want to be more posh, in trying to express yourself. Write like this. The third point, instead of writing free vaccines for children, you can write free immunization for the infants. See, one more word for vaccination is immunization, right? And for kids, instead of kids, you can also use the word infants. Infants are newborn babies. So like that's it. You're trying to express yourself in the best possible way. So you write that, okay? So this will pep up your answer. Your answer will get that punch, okay, wherein your teachers will really, enjoy trying to correct your answer sheet, okay? The last point, they gave disputes. The Gram Panchayat settles the disputes of the villages amicably. Now, write the same point, right? What are the disputes they solve? Disputes like property disputes, financial disputes, land disputes, petty disputes, personal disputes, family disputes, etc. As if you know more. So what are the different kinds of disputes they solve? Okay, mention that there. See, now you have really presented yourself in the best fashion and you are bound to get full marks because you wrote up to the point and rather you try to present yourself in the best possible way using the best language. So that is the request V formula using which we can learn a given text without by hearting. Okay, the same technique can be applied for you any kind of text, Okay, make it a point that you summarize it, take the key phrases first, from the key phrases, pull out the keywords. Based on the keywords, try to reconstruct the complete lesson in your own words. Okay, and that's it. You will get the lesson perfectly. It will go into your memory also. Okay, so this is the first technique called the request free formula. Now we'll go for the next technique.